So when I looked at healthcare, uh, you could say more like a concerned physician of where the healthcare is going and where is the underutilization of whatever resources we have, then it is easy to understand my concern. See, practicing for so long, I have seen much of suffering of not able to come to the doctors early, not having insurance coverage. Even if they have coverage, there may be a lot of private pay. We call it patient share was going up as the years gone up. Revenues are increasing for the healthcare system, but those revenues are going to medical executives and then insurance companies and drug companies. Not to the patient's welfare or not to the physicians to really making more money. It was the case, but it is gone. So the pie was taken by the physicians initially, but now it is going to other people. But the system is based on revenue, so there's a lot of pressure on physicians to really be doing services such a way that will increase the revenue, not the quality of health or outcomes of the chronic diseases or a simple reduction of suffering from illness. Illness is the primary thing people orient, and then they come and they get symptomatic treatment and not to the real causes of it. And also, at the same time, there are so many forces that work against our health. The carbonated drinks, the smoking industry, alcohol, and also this mafia, drugs, and all that, right? So it is going on. Mental health is getting worse. A lot of people are committing suicide. A lot of people are really depressed or generally anxious. Most of the people, right? Cancer is we are getting better treatment modalities, at least not complete, but it is diagnostic precision has grown, diagnostic accuracy has grown, and we are able to diagnose very early, and that way it is becoming really easy for us to fix cancer if it is discovered early. Helical scanning, CT scan of the carcinoma of the bronchi, or this beautiful mammograms, MRIs of the breast for the breast cancer. So many cancers we could do, and now genetic genetic. Let me see, Lois, my friend. My genetic editing is helping a lot, and more things are. Molecular biology has improved a lot. Hi, Lois.
Hey, Dr. R, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I like this conversation. I like I like that diagnoses are getting sharper and better and quicker and all that kind of stuff. But one thing I can say that there's a nerve that gets hit with me with our medical community is the fact of prognosis.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the doctor is not responsible for the prognosis.
Yeah.
Okay. That's between the patient and that higher being.
Yeah.
That you know what I mean? And doctors, they can, for so many years, I listened to doctors and with them giving me the diagnosis and the prognosis and I believed all of that crap.
You know what?
Until I didn't.
Yeah. Over the years, I learned to not to give days or months of prognosis. I always say, how is the condition at the time? I don't predict they're going to die in a day or two and all, because that is enough to indicate, but don't say for sure this is going to happen. You are not God to tell them that, I learned that.
And it's that part that I think catches most people up is because they see the doctor in this holier than thou thing because they have the ability to look inside the body and diagnose.
Yeah.
But the thing is that as long as we as consumers decide that the doctors give us a prognosis, we're going to continue to die.
Yeah.
Because all they know is the statistics of what happened before in the history. But everybody is different. They gave me the prognosis that I was dead, and the thing is that I believed, I half believed it. Probably that's why I'm still here. Because I understood medicine enough to understand that all the autoimmune diseases that I had operating in my body at the same time. But I also knew the body enough to know that everything works in connection with something else, and if I fix a certain thing, if I move the spoke in the tire, if my wheel is wobbling on my bicycle, it's going to cause the whole thing to wobble. Yeah. Okay, but if I adjust each spoke as little bit, in each of those different areas, then I came into a sense of health. And the thing is, that prognosis was not brought upon by the doctors, because, like I said, I would be dead if I went with what they said, and I believed everything they told me. Because I would have been dead long before I got 46 diseases too, because I had a mass in my brain. And there would be all these prognoses.
There is a medical legal angle, Lois. That also puts some of the doctors in dilemma as to tell something or not. Generally, it's better to state what is happening now instead of going out front. But see, my concern is why we are getting these chronic disease outcomes to go down. And also, we see when they sold the EMR, I was one of the ones who jumped in and learned and motivated all the group. And those people, they liked me, but then they hated what I'm doing. I'm promoting the EMRs very much, right? So they said, why are you making our life miserable? Why don't we stay with the paper? I said, it's going to go away. Everybody wants to go to the EMR. We have to be there, And also I saw it will be legible, less medical mistakes. It will be available anywhere, right? You can go to some other Utah or something, and your record is available. So I was promoting for the sake of the patients, But then doctors had a very narrow view at the time. Now they know that is important, but at the time, beginning, they were resistant. So what I'm saying is, even all that money that we spent on the EMR did not improve the outcomes of the chronic diseases or the mental. It's getting worse. Don't you see? That is a. I'm sorry, Les, I didn't see that you went down. It's only the clock is there for 3. So come back.
So I think it's in the interpretation of the data that you learn with the test. And in that interpretation of that data, everybody has a responsibility. The doctor has a responsibility. The patient has a responsibility. The nurse, everybody got a piece of that action. And as long as everybody plays their part, then the patient actually can get well. But if somebody doesn't play their role, like the patient decides he's going to defer to the nurse and to the doctor, the patient going to surely die. Okay? Especially if the diagnosis is something like cancer or something that can actually has the ability to spread. Okay, and then if everybody's I think if everybody is working together, this is why I like integrated medicine and integrated psychology and integrated everything. Because if everybody is working together to tackle the same problem and coming from different perspectives, they're liable to get all those different circles that are going in conjunction with each other, instead of trying to focus on one little circle when you got 10 circles connected to it.
Yeah, that's exactly true. Integrated, we should not dismiss ancient systems as bad or scientific systems are not adequate. They are doing what they can do, but then get the best out of modern systems, get the best out of the ancient, and don't bring all the religions and everything. Just human needs.
Religion don't they got nothing to do with it. I ain't talking about religion.
I'm telling not you.
Really,
not you. Generally, they don't integrate with they say we believe this, we don't. That kind of thing. I'm not propagating.
Well, for me, doctor, it was a matter of understanding the diagnoses. Once I understood my diagnosis, I didn't listen to their prognosis. Okay, that's the first part. I didn't look at it, but I analyzed my diagnoses, and then I figured out what brings health to that area.
That's it. Yeah, very good, Lois. Very good, Lois. You did that, not giving the prognosis to somebody else, but then trying to do what will make you better. Wonderful. Go
Yeah,
on. Go on. Go
to
on.
maintain health, not to get rid of the disease.
Yeah.
I was just doing things to maintain health because I know that energy can't get sick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it can get
Yeah.
stagnant, it can get stuck, it can get blocked, but it can't get sick. And if any sickness of the body is a sickness of, I'm sorry, it's a sickness of the thoughts and the mind.
Yeah.
And then that's coming from a therapist. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And because I found that to be true with most of my patients, that when they had the physical illness, I can trace it back to some physical, some psychological thing that happened that they didn't process in a way that was conducive to health.
Hey,
I'll say it
Lois,
like that.
Lois, comment on this emphasis I'm trying to make is like a fusion of all the systems that are available for us. And also, at the same time, we see the money spent a lot on the nonsensical waste and also really staring at things going down society level or health level, wellness level. People don't have the same kind of balanced health that our generation may have it in the beginning. Now it is eroded. Don't you think so? Let me bring her back.
Do agree. I agree with that. It is eroding, and I believe, and this is my belief. This is a personal belief. Lois's belief is it's eroding because people are deferring their decisions about their bodies and their lives to politicians, to the medical doctors, to the whoever it is who they're deferring. They're not looking at themselves for themselves. They're not looking inside themselves or seeing how they are even playing. That they're the common denominator of every problem they ever had in life. They are the common denominator. If they keep having more problems, then they got to check out what's going on within them. But generally, everybody is in this thing of fast food, a miracle cure, blaming, and all that kind of stuff. And the more we blame and the more we look for one cure, the more we look for the panacea for everything, we'll continue to be lost because there is no one and done on nothing. Everything is interconnected. And when we work on the interconnectivity of all of all belief systems, of all the sciences, of all the arts, of all the mathematics, there's an integration that can go into that. And if we focus on the integration as opposed to the disintegration or a miracle cure, I believe it can come back up. And I believe that there's a generation that's coming under us who are saying no to the bullshit. And people are calling them entitled.
A lot of them are gullible. So they get taken, they trust people, they trust the medical system, and then they get paid for it. But if only they're skeptical, but at the same time, open-minded, receiving things. That should be there,
It definitely is open-mindedness because the thing is that I had a closed system going before I got before I understood the energy and how everything is interconnected. I had a closed system, and that closed system that closed loop kept me in a loop of sickness and disease and depression and anxiety. And then when I realized that I could get out of that closed loop just by opening my mind for a moment, just for a brief moment, that one moment of glimmer of light opened up to this big old giant spotlight now. But I had to be tired, and this is where people haven't got. I had to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. So, but I think it can get better, doctor.
Yeah, you do better awareness drives with your voice and emphatic presentations, Lois. That's pretty good. More people should be self-conscious about their own health and wellness, and then really taking things with after questioning, doubting, and finding out. We're not saying follow anybody says anything, but basically develop this. What is working, what's not working? How can we really help ourselves and the families and the society by following wellness rules? People don't do that, So let me see who is, okay, Terry. I think Terry. I think Lois, I'll bring you back again after Terry. Okay, so hi Terry.
Hello, Dr. Ra.
Yeah.
I listened to Lois, and I listened to. I didn't catch you from the beginning, but we're so reliant on we're so reliant on prescription drugs, and it's nothing new. It actually goes back to the early 60s. Yeah. And even the Rolling Stones had a song in the mid-60s called Mother's Little Helper.
Ah,
you know?
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, okay.
And if you indulge me, I shall read you some of the lyrics. Right.
Yeah.
What a drag it is getting old. It's a different today. I hear every mother say, mother needs something today to calm her down.
Yeah.
And though she's not really ill, there's a little yellow pill. She goes running for the shelter of her mother's little helper.
Yeah.
And it helps her on her way, gets her through her busy day.
Yeah.
Now, that was written in about 1965-ish, Dr. Rao.
Okay.
So
I'm only 10 years at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So holistic. Now, doctors, modern medicine is held hostage to pharmaceutical corporations.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm saying anything too outrageous there.
Yeah.
And a lot of the funding for vaccines, it's all comes from pharmaceutical industry. And holistic. Now, so a lot of holistic-minded people like yourself, Dr. Rao, believe in the power of meditation and mindfulness. Yeah? But of course, if we all did that, hopefully we wouldn't get ill.
You know, Terry, even...
I think I've said enough, Dr. Rao.
Yeah.
Let Lois come back.
Yeah. Yeah, even if you take, for example, Lois, I will bring her in. Alex, I will bring you right after this. Let Lois complete her thing. So, yeah, Lois, go ahead.
Yeah, I like what Terry said, and that song. I didn't hear that song, but that was a theme throughout my childhood.
Yeah.
If somebody had a problem, pharmaceuticals was just now really making it big, and they were doing a lot of advertising. And I remember my mother with the little red pill to go up, the little yellow, the little red pill and the yellow pill to go down, and then it was another pill she had that would take her back up again. Yeah. And she would take these things thinking that it was helping her to deal with the stress that she was under, but all it was doing was creating a new problem because what caused the stress in the nerve being my nerves is bad. Get my nerve pill. That's what she used to say. That's that little red pill that calmed her really down.
Yeah.
But the thing is that during the 60s, the late 50s and the 60s, they were pushing drugs. Drugs is like, oh, you got anxiety, take this drug. You got depression, you have headaches, take this drug. And the thing is, Tylenol and estrogen, all that was on the market, and that was brand new too. That wasn't always over the counter. But they started pushing drugs. So as soon as every time you turn on a commercial, plop, plop, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. They didn't say, just go drink some doggone water with some bicarbonate in it. They told you to go buy a drug to put in the water to be a bicarbonate to deal with your stuff.
Even now it's going on. It's going on.
And our lack of knowledge is what's killing us.
Yeah. It is going on now. Even now, doctors think their job is to just prescribe, whereas his job is to avoid that as much as possible and then do it when you need it. I kind of made a living cutting down the medications people came up with because I used to see what are the conditions you have, what are you taking for that. And then there are so many medications that should have been stopped a long time ago. They are still going on. These people don't know. They're just taking them. Lots of people lose a lot of money on that too.
And I told my doctor to treat me like a dog. He said, what? I said, treat me like a dog. And he said, explain. I said, I take my dog to the vet with a problem, and it's an acute problem. The doctor gives me something for the acute problem and then prescribes me a diet to feed the dog so the dog never have that problem again. Why can't you treat me like that? I don't want no more diagnoses. If you give me a diagnosis, tell me what I need to do to actually heal it, not treat it.
Yeah, that's
you
it.
know.
That's
so
it.
I say, treat us like dogs, doctors, and let us treat that medication with that acute problem, because you can't even really treat autoimmune disease with drugs.
No.
It only creates more problems.
Yeah. But they have the chance to add some of these. For example, I teach them how to sleep better. My patients, they will be very much I'll bring in Alex now. He has been waiting for a long time. Thanks for waiting, Alex. Come on up.
Hey, yeah, you're welcome. I was writing the whole time.
Okay.
Well, I was kind of just tuning in a little bit to listen to what you were saying, and I agree with a lot of things that other people were saying, and a lot of it is stress that causes the problems that we have.
Yeah.
And the other lady, she was a nice person. She definitely brought up a point, because the thing is, like, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And we all know that. So the thing is, it causes more stress, and stress is the number one killer, and we all know that.
Yeah.
So it's all common sense. It's like a friend. He got a kidney stone, things like that. And the thing is, like, he told me he never drinks water. He always drinks soda with his food. I've grown up working in the hot sun all day. I smoke, whatever, but I'm healthy. Like, I have good blood pressure because I keep moving. I don't sit around. I stay in the hot sun. I push my body. So yeah, we have unhealthy habits here and there. We're not perfect, but still, the actions that we take on the daily create who we are. So as far as, like, when I was saying with stress and stuff like that, it's basically years and years after that. And also, we all know about the DuPont schemes. We all know about how they use cast iron. They all go into their blood system. So you have generations of people that need medicine also, or else they're going to die. So it's like, a lot of it's survival to say this. A lot of it is so many things, and doctors try their best, I feel, because they allow everything. And I have a mind, body, and soul under God. So it's like, I have a very good balance with mental health, spiritual health, and just all around. So I can sit here, smoke a cigarette, cool it, whatever, and it won't affect me much, because I'll get up, do something, I'll keep my mind off of it, and I realize our body heals once we work.
I agree with you. I agree with you everything.
Like that I tend to pay attention.
Except the smoking part, which I kind of, as a doctor, I don't encourage.
I'm not perfect. Though, as a human.
That's okay. I have dealt with a lot of smokers in my clinic, because we gave them something that they could do, not according to us, but according to them. It's like motivating them by really making them realize themselves. I would not start an anti-smoking program unless they are willing, they want to do it. Then only do it.
I know where you're coming from, because there's probably some people because there's, like, due to my experiences, a lot of people that I've worked with that work outside, they're kind of healthy. It's just certain people smoke and they sit around.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's just different things, like, even as far as drinking, it's like, we can't be perfect. Sometimes we might get stressed out. We might need a little pill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then we have addiction, and a lot of it is a lot of spiritual things that we don't have much.
Alex, I get what
you're saying.
I taught my patients to deep breathe. That somehow killed that instinct to smoke whenever they want. They cut down from 50% maybe just by taking the deep breaths. They didn't have that urge to smoke because they are focusing on the deep breathing. And that's an indirect way of helping them. If they don't want to really stop, we cannot do anything. But once they want to stop, I used to motivate them by showing what's happening with the x-rays, what's happening with the general things, right? But generally, people came in and they were initially reluctant. But once they came to know what is going on with their body, when we can show a lot of things for them through the blood, through the x-rays, through the scans, everything that show, right? And lots of times we discovered lung cancer at its very, very early stages, and they were able to get a better outcome because of that. That was there. But generally, smoking is a physiological and psychological addiction. It's very difficult for people to get up because that is comfort for them, that's their body, and whatever they tell. I don't encourage people to actively smoking, but I don't really hesitate to help them if they want to quit. But I do everything in my power to motivate them not to smoke. That's my job as a physician, and I do that too. But I don't force anybody. But I want to increase the awareness of the problems with smoking, and also really understand what they may be facing, a kind of suffering, those kind of things. They may not be aware of it. So once they come to aware of it, they have their own motivation to quit. That is the point where we work from them, and then we make them quit the smoking with all the help that we can provide. And I told you this before, I'm very proud of that record that I had in my 40 years of practice, when I worked with a lot of smokers and made them quit. That was a really proud achievement. I didn't have to use much medication also, more like making them believe in themselves and then quit some of them and gain the psychological reserve that we could do this. Either way, the tobacco companies, they pushed the tobacco for a long time, saying that it is good, and then they finally admitted that it's causing the problems, right? This is not the tobacco companies only. The sugar thing, so many restaurants were pushed by industry to use all sorts of tasty things so that they will make more money. So any number of things we can show you that is not helping this wellness drives what we have. But we're going to rise up and talk about it, and also help patients, showing them avenues. Certainly, that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of making them aware of the natural things that they can do. Take a walk, like Alex was saying, move, bike, that outdoor work, all those things are good. And expose yourself to the sun, and breathe deeply, and rest comfortably, sleep well, eat a nutritious diet. All those things are important. I go pretty deep with everything, but that is because variety of patients come with variety of complaints, right? So we have to tell them all that. So I think it's the time now. Okay, 2:30. I was supposed to attend a meeting, but anybody else wants to come? And I'm very happy that Lois came up, Terry came up, Alex came up, and they have a lot to say about this. I think everybody is concerned about where our health system is going, and take some proactive, their own way of doing things. So that should be encouraged and should be helped, and give all the resources, all the information that we have at hand. I certainly dedicated to that. So I'm going to go for the wellness-oriented health systems, and I'm going to work in this capacity as the chief wellness officer of this company, and also I may go to a bigger company when the opportunity arises. So I can do some studies. Being an informatician, I can gather data on the wellness practices and present to the other people to follow along. Okay, if I write one article with good data, that will take more traction. And that's what I'm going to do in the next couple of years, probably. And meanwhile, I'm running my wellness-oriented company, where I produce a lot of resources for people to know about wellness. And also, if they want to practice, they can come and join me. I'm more than happy to accommodate any number of people. Okay, thank you. And I will be seeing you again tonight at 6 o'clock. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.